What's up YouTube? I'm here to do my prediction video for UFC 188. Let's start at the bottom. First fight we got Albert Trumanov versus Andrew Toe Hunter. I'm not even kidding, I think it's Toad Hunter? It's T-O-D Hunter. That's the weirdest last name I've ever seen. Andrew Toad Hunter. I'm gonna pick Albert Trumanov. I think that he's just more well-rounded, and he's beaten way better dudes, and he'll probably win by knockout. I'm gonna say either the first or the second round. I mean, he's a great striker. I don't think he's gonna get outstruck, and I don't think he's gonna get taken down. Next, we got Clay Collard versus Gilbert Burns, and I think this will be kind of like Clay's last two fights. It'll be a scrap back and forth, but I think he'll come out on top. He'll probably get a third-round finish. And I just expect this fight could be. Anytime I see Clay Collard fight, I think it might be a fight of the night fight because they all are. Both of his fights, and even his fights outside the UFC. Whenever you watch this guy fight, I mean, it's just a war every single time. So I'll pick Clay by finish, probably in the third. Next we got Augustus Montano versus Cathal Pendred, and I think Cathal just does what he did in his last couple of fights. He's just able to get takedowns, hold Augusto down, and just grind on him and win by decision. I think Augusto just is a little too wild with everything he does, and I think Cathal will just be able to capitalize on it and make him tired and win by decision. Next we got Francisco Trudeau versus Johnny Case, and Johnny Case to me is one of the brighter prospects right now at lightweight, and I think he's going to just dominate this fight no matter where it goes, and I'm going to say he wins by TKO, probably late first, maybe late second, depends. Next we got Alejandro Perez versus Patrick Williams. To me, Patrick Williams is just, he's not great. I think Alejandro Perez is also just kind of decent, but he at least looks like he has promise, as where Patrick Williams just, I don't know, he just didn't look that great to me in his debut, and his record isn't great. So I'm going to pick Alejandro Perez, probably by decision, maybe a submission. Next, we got Drew Dober versus Efrain Escudero. And I'll pick Escudero. I think that these guys basically have the exact same style, but it's one of those things where it's the thing when fights are in Mexico like this, they're probably gonna try to push it where the Mexican fighters are gonna have advantages in most of these fights. So, I do think these guys have the exact same style, but I think Efrain Escudero just has a little bit of an edge in a couple areas, especially the grappling. So I'm gonna say Escudero wins by decision. Next we got Chico Camus versus Henry Cejudo. And Cejudo's going to win by decision. Chico Camus is basically just a shittier version of Chris Cariaso. And Cejudo's going to do the exact same thing he did to Cariaso. This fight's going to be no different. I think Cejudo just wins an easy 30-27 decision. Next we got Tecia Torres versus Angela Hill. And Angela Hill's a good striker, but she's not on Ticia's level. Ticia's just going to dance around her and pick shots, win by points probably, and win an easy 30-27 decision. Next, we got Yair Rodriguez versus Charles Rosa. And just like with another fight I said earlier, one of the Mexican guys, Yair Rodriguez looks decent, but he leaves himself wide open for a lot of stuff. So even though I think he's a good fighter, I just think that Charles Rosa is, in my opinion, just as good, if not better, at everything that Yair does, except for he's more compact and he's not going to leave himself wide open for things like counters or takedowns. And I just think Charles Rosa is going to win by first round submission. Next we got Kelvin Gastelum versus Nate Marquardt. And I think Marquardt's going to win this one. I think Kelvin Gastelum, he's used to fighting guys his size, but middleweight is completely different. And I think Nate is just going to be able to stuff takedowns and beat him up on the feet. I think that people are kind of underestimating Nate just because he hasn't looked great recently, but I think that he's going to look good in this fight. I say he wins by submission. Next we got Eddie Alvarez versus Gilbert Melendez. And I think Eddie is better. I think these guys have a lot of similarities between them. But I think Eddie just has more power and he throws better combinations. Gilbert throws good combinations, but most of those are against the fence or when he's at distance. And I think Eddie's just a better boxer. I think Gilbert's probably a little bit better wrestler, but I think that Eddie could stuff those takedowns because it's not like Gilbert's a great wrestler. He's just good at kind of pinning people against the fence and peppering them. And I think as long as Eddie stays away from that, he should be able to win the boxing match. So I'm going to pick Eddie Alvarez by decision. I think this will be the fight of the night. This is my pick for fight of the night. And last but not least, we got Cain Velasquez versus Fabricio Werdum. And I'm going to pick Werdum. It's hard to pick guys when they're off all the time. And they come back from injuries. That's what happened with Shogun is he had those knee injuries and then he comes back and he lost to Forrest. And same thing with Kane. I think he tore his ACL or his MCL, and he just keeps hurting himself, and you never know when he's just not going to come back as good. And the fact is, I think Verdum, he's been more active, and I think he's progressively looked better in all of his fights, and I think he's going to win by knockout or submission. I just think the fact that he's been more active and the fact that he's been looking better every single fight really makes me think Verdum, is closer to his prime than Kane is, because Verdum hasn't been getting injured all the time. So I'll pick Verdum by finish. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe.